Someone was kind enough to point me at two cases that did address California Penal Code 148G. The first one is McComas v. City of Rohnert Park. You may remember it. McComas was on his property and he saw a police officer drive by, and he pulled out his camera and he started filming the police officer that had driven by. The police officer saw this, turned around, came back, drew his firearm, and proceeded to try to bully Mr. McComas while Mr. McComas was in his front yard filming the police. Unsurprisingly, the police officer was denied qualified immunity under 42 U.S.C. 1983 action lawsuit for trying to chill Mr. McCormis's freedom of speech. Mr. McCormis was not in a traditional public forum. He was on his own goddamn property, and the city of Rohnert Park had no business telling him he couldn't film from his front yard. And even if he had stepped out onto the sidewalk, that would have again been protected. It would be Fordyce versus Seattle. But they did mention 148G in here. They mentioned it in context with also 69B. 69B, if you remember, that was the executive filming an executive officer in public. They mentioned Fordyce v. Seattle, but they don't really go into anything beyond that. They just say the right to film police activities well recognized in California. A reasonable officer in Rodriguez's position would have known that it was a violation of a constitutional right to harass an individual who's peacefully filming the officer. Further, the laws clearly establish there is a right to be free from retaliation, even in a non-retaliatory justification, even if a non-retaliatory justification exists for the officer's actions. So it doesn't really go into whether or not 148G would apply just kind of across the board. They're just saying that it's the right to film police activity is well recognized in California. And they kind of throw things out there that generally point towards that. This is the Senate Bill 2015, California Senate Bill 411. This is where they actually show the various changes to. They changed 69 and 148 at the same time, so they were well aware that they were adding the language to both sections. And this is the relevant part for 148. Under existing law, every person who willfully resists, delays, or obstructs any police officer or public officer, peace officer, or emergency medical technician in the discharge or attempt to discharge any of his or her duties shall be punishable by a fine or imprisonment, or both, as specified. This bill would provide the fact that a person takes a photograph or makes an audio or video recording of a public officer or peace officer while the officer is in a public place, or the person is taking the photograph or making the recording is in a place he or she has the right to be, is not in and of itself a violation of the above mentioned provision, nor does it constitute reasonable suspicion to detain the person or probable cause to arrest the person. Now, they said it, because of the way they said it, I think we can draw the conclusion that because of this, then this. So for 69, it was under existing law, every person who deters or prevents an executive officer from performing his or her duties or knowingly resists the officer is punishable by fine or imprisonment, or both as specified. This bill would provide, so again, they're saying that they're changing the bill because of this specified thing. They want to make it so that a person who takes a photograph would not be necessarily in violation of this. Now, I don't know if everybody's familiar with American News and Information Service v. Gore. This is J.C. Playford. I'm sure you're familiar with him. You've heard about him. He's an interesting character. He had a long row to hoe on this one. Rachel Baird, Law Office of Rachel Baird, Torrington CT, Richard A. Williams, Law Office of Richard Williams. They changed around some. If I remember correctly, they changed around some. So Baird, yeah, Torrington, CT, Williams, okay. Oh. So this is, they brought Rachel Baird at Pro Hack Vice. Let's check that out, shall we? Do. Rachel M. Baird, yep, Connecticut. So Pro Hack Vice, or Pro Hack Wika, or however they want to say it. I don't really care. Anyway, it was a long road downhill for American News and Information Services and J.C. Playford, Baird, and Williams. This was bad. Order granting motion to dismiss third amended complaint. I mean, they lost in every step. It was just bad. It was just bad. And then this was the nail in the coffin. The defendants got summary judgment. And yeah, so they switched. They got Carl Michael to join in, and yeah. So I don't know exactly what happened if Richard Williams didn't want to have anything more to do with it or what. Anyway, they did talk about 148G because the case I think was. The case was filed in 2012, I think. I mean, it was like forever and a day. Yeah, so I think it was 2012 that it was filed, and they got their first taste of bad news. Prior history. This is saying 2011. It looks like it's 2012. Anyway. So, yeah, these things take a long time to get through the court, but they do note in here, they talk about, let's just do this. They have a big old footnote about it. Yes. All right, yeah, it is this one. The court notes that Penal Code 148, the statute plaintiff was charged with violating, was recently amended at subsection G. It provides, based on the undisputed evidence of the events leading to plaintiff's arrest, he was not arrested for filming in and of itself. In case you're watching Billy from Ockham, that means only. He was arrested for defying deputies' directions to back away and get out of the way because his conduct was preventing them from doing their jobs, interviewing an individual about a crime, securing a potentially mentally ill individual without the use of force, and securing a bomb threat location. So, there you go. So there's still not a lot of conclusive evidence on 148G. I hope I've provided enough with the background and the two cases that have referenced it to kind of let you know that it is really targeted towards 148A. It modifies 148A. That's what all the evidence suggests. That's what I'm suggesting. We will see if one of these fine photographers who have been charged with all these trespasses and things, we will see if they can successfully invoke 148G to try to get out of a trespass charge. To date, they haven't been able to do so, but we'll see. I could be wrong. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.